Good morning, folks. I'd say welcome back to the farm, but we're not at the farm right now. We are out picking wild plums. And if you don't know what a wild plum is, they grow wild, just like the name says, out here in Nebraska, and they're all over the place. And you can find them alongside the road, other places, and this is the time of year you want to be picking them. We missed the choke cherry season, but we got out here before the wild plums were all gone. So let me show you what you're looking for. So these trees are alongside of the road out here. Make sure you're not crossing in, fencing into anybody's property. But here's what your wild plums look like. And the darker they get, the more sweet they are. But if you let them get much beyond this color here, you're going to lose them all to the birds, the coyotes, and the deer. So you pretty much got to harvest them when they're turning a nice orange color. You can get out here and get some, and then you'll just let them set out and ripen as any fruit will do after it's picked to develop the sugars in them. And then we're going to make some jelly out of them. But this is what they look like. The thicket on the side of the road. And again, make sure you don't go on anybody's property or get permission if you're getting too close to somebody's property. But we got about, I don't know, about 1.5 gallons that we're going to be dealing with, and we just want to make a little jelly is all we're doing. So this is enough. We're going to save some for other people that might want to come by. Some other folks may want to come out here and get some. But here's one that's a little darker color. Got a really good flavor. See, the pit's kind of big. These are mostly all pit and skin, but you're just going to boil them down and get the juice out of them and add the sugar to make the jelly. And we'll show you when we do that. So we'll be back. So we got our plums back home. So first thing you want to do is get a bunch of water in your bucket. And we've done that. And then run your hands through all the plums, and most of the impurities will come to the top. All your leaves and such. You can see I've been picking leaves out of here, and a lot of your little nasty things and your bugs and everything will float to the top. And once we get all the leaves picked out of here, we're going to fill this bucket full of water, and all this stuff you see here floating on top, we'll pour it off. And we'll keep rinsing them until we get most of that stuff out. We'll keep agitating them like this. Get all those impurities out of there. And when we're done, we'll end up with clean water and a bunch of clean plums. And then we're going to dump these out, dry them off, and then let them ripen up a little bit. And we'll show you once we dump them out. Alright, we got them all rinsed out. We got all the leaves pulled out of them and much as the debris we could get out of them. So now we got them laid out on cookie sheets. You can see their various different stages of ripeness. So over the next week or so, as they turn nice and purple, we'll bag those up, throw them in the freezer little by little. So we can get them all around about the same peak of ripeness. And when we're ready to can, we'll come back and we'll show you how to make jelly out of these, and we'll can it up. All right, we're down to one tray. We've been pulling them out as they ripen and putting them in the freezer. But these are all about ready to go. They're ripe enough. We'll pull the crazy green ones out. But we've already dumped the bags from the freezer into the pot. And we put a little bit of water in the pot to get the steam going in there so the juice will start coming out. The juice is already starting to come out in the pot. So as these cook down, we'll add that other tray of plums in here until everything pops and is loose, and we'll show you what we'll do after that. Alright, we've cooked them all down to where they've all split. We've already poured off some of the juice, but now we're going to pour off what's in here now that's loose, and then we're going to use this food mill to get the rest of it out. Alright, we're running the plums through the food mill, getting out all of the goodness out the bottom down there. You can see it running out. And this is going to be more of a jam than a jelly because we're not going to strain it. So after we get all of this juice coming out of here, we'll show you what the next step is. Alright, we wound up with 8 cups of juice. So it's 1-to-1 sugar and juice. So we added 8 cups of sugar. And then we also added 1 package of powdered pectin. We mixed it up with a little bit of hot water before we put it in to make sure there was no clumps in it. Now we're going to bring this back to a simmer. And once it simmers a little bit, we're going to do a little test. We'll put a little jelly in a spoon and we'll dip it in some ice cold water. And we'll see what consistency it is. And if it gels up real nice, we know we can bottle it up. We'll be back. Alright, we've been up to a full boil. We're ready to start jarring this stuff up. The jars are clean, ready to go. The lids are in hot water. We're going to start filling jars. So we got exactly a dozen half pints. And they're in the canner, and we've got the timer going for 6 minutes. We had a little extra. We're sending this big jar home with my helper. And then this one we'll just put in the fridge. My helper's not staying out of it. She loves it. Alright, they were in the canner for 6 minutes. We pulled them out, and the jars have already sealed down. And we're just going to let these cool off till morning, and we'll put them in the root cellar. So that is Sandhill Plum Jelly, or jam. If you strain it, you can call it jelly, but we didn't strain it. So we're calling it jam. But it's super good. My little helper's over here still eating it. Is it good, Emma? Yeah, she's loving it. Alright, give this recipe a shot if you've got some Sandhill plums or some wild plums or cherries or whatever. You can do the same things with them.
Yummy.
There's Emma. She didn't want to be on camera, but apparently she's not camera shy no more. So give the recipe a try. Remember, we got our Facebook page. Like us on Facebook and like this video if you would. And we'll see you next time on Mark Kelly Farm. Love you guys. Stay safe, stay healthy.
It's good.